The Lower Connecticut River Valley is a hub for antiques, and it's time once again for Antiques Trail. Two special guests at our roundtable. We've got Gay Sherman-Wentz and we've got Katie Wright, who have been out and about in the field, going to different fairs and festivals and antique expeditions, I should call it. And they have a report back to us on a few of them briefly, and some insights into some great opportunities out there for people to enjoy shows. Welcome to the both of you.
Thanks, Evie.
Thank you, Evie.
You come loaded up with lots of wares that are looking beautiful here on our table with jewelry.
Oh, yeah. And I was glad, actually, that Katie was able to come with me to the North Madison Antiques Show this past weekend. It's always nice to have a friend to prowl around with, because, I might see something she doesn't and vice versa. And, we really tag teamed it. It was a good time.
Come look at this,
And it's time once again for Antiques Trail.
And your
Two
friends
special
who are
guests at our
listening right now
roundtable
to us here at ICRV Radio. You can participate
in this live roundtable discussion as well. You can going to different fairs and festivals at
info@icrvradio.com.
You can call in, and they have a report back to us on a few of them briefly, and some insights into some great opportunities out there for people to enjoy shows. Welcome to the both of you.
Thanks, Evie.
Momentarily, and if you have questions or comments, loaded up with lots of wares that are looking beautiful here on our table with jewelry.
Yeah, in fact, I contacted
I
was glad, actually, that Katie was able to come with me to the last couple days
to
the North Madison Antiques Show, call in or to make comments on Facebook. It's always nice to have a friend, just join us to prowl around with. I'm hoping that I might see something she doesn't and vice versa.
There are also photographs up on our Facebook page.
We really tag teamed it. It was a good time.
Share some of those. There's some jewelry. Looks like an old
and your friends who are listening
right now to us here at ICRV Radio. You can participate in this live roundtable discussion
that
as
tricycle
well.
was
You can
so
send
cool.
us your questions
So
if you want to at
futuristic.
info@icrvradio.com.
Really modern looking for the 50s.
At 860-526. You find so many cool things. You have a real eye for them when you go out. 860-526-4278.
I've had a lot of
experience that they're going to be describing momentarily.
Growing up with parents who loved antique and vintage things.
I love that whole friendship
as they say, it's kind of in the blood.
Yeah,
in fact, I contacted a number of I've had my vintage loving friends for a long time. I love the couple days urging them to call in or to make comments on Facebook or just join us on this show. So I'm hoping that we'll get some participation. Some of the things, what they were used for, the mystery behind, what was this for. And of course, a lot of those things now are somewhat obsolete.
Tricycle.
Because to be bigger, I wanted to ride
that more. Yeah, and some of them are coming back for that reason. Yeah, that tricycle was so
little
cool.
Postage,
so lady that we went to that had an incredible, really modern collection of mostly antique jewelry.
You find so many cool things. You have a real eye for them when you go out.
And she had, I've had a lot of experience.
This little sterling box.
Growing up with parents who loved antique and vintage things.
And very fine.
As they say, it's kind of in the blood. And
on the top,
I've had a passion for a long time. I love the history. I love the stories.
We're looking at it.
What this radio station is all about. Katie and I, and then the vendor and her friend who was with her, we're all kind of trying to figure through process of deduction. Some of the things, what they were used for, the mystery behind, the clues, what was determined for. Probably back in a lot of those things turn of the century, somewhat obsolete. Maybe even before that, because it was for your postage stamps. Yeah, and some of them are coming back for that you reason, put on your desktop, like that little postage stamps in there. Lady that we went to that had an incredible collection or gentleman with mostly antique jewelry. I mean, phenomenal collection. And she has this,
that was back
this
when,
little sterling box,
just so you had
and it looked like a little lap writing desk. Yeah,
and
exactly. It was
filigree wire. It was just incredible.
It was formal,
remember on the top
but
it
yet
had the envelope, and on the back
sweet
and personal at the same time.
Yeah, sweet and personal. We're looking at it, and between all of us, Katie and I, and then the vendor and her friend who was with her, we're all kind of trying to figure through process of deduction. at all the clues, we determined that probably back in turn of the century. I was surprised by the rug vendor. Before that, it was for your postage stamps. Yeah, a very elegant piece. I went up to one of the silk rugs, and I literally was like, petting it like a cat. And, I was like, you would sit at, a lady or a gentleman would sit at their desk, and I just had to. I actually laid down on it and did like a snow angel because I just had to like feel the silk rug. I wanted to bring it home with me.
And it had its place on your desk.
I mean, there were a variety of foreign-made rugs, Katie.
It was
formal,
a lot of them were from
yet
from the Middle East.
Yeah, Middle East,
sweet and personal at the same time.
Yeah, sweet and personal. It had that je ne sais quoi about it. And she said normally they have a barn where they sell them
in Guilford.
Guilford, yeah.
And they're there year round.
What was your best bargain? The two of you, things that you found.
Katie has it. I was surprised by the rug vendor.
Handmade Mexico, those probably 1950s, I'm guessing.
I went up to one of the silk rugs, and I literally was like, petting it like a cat. I was like
swirls and grooves in it.
It was so soft and
double-sided.
I just had to. I actually laid down on it and did like a snow angel.
You said it was a great bargain. How good a bargain? What would you say that's worth?
I wanted to bring it home with me.
Actually snag it for.
And there were a variety of foreign-made actually rugs, and the prices for a bracelet
from the Middle East,
with that quality Mexican silver ranged anywhere from $200 to $600.
I just can't even imagine the time.
And Katie, you paid $60,
and
she said normally they have a barn where they sell them
in Guilford.
Guilford, yeah,
and they're there year round.
What was your best bargain, the two of you, things that you found?
Katie has it.
Oh, my gosh, that's
a
beautiful
Handmade
bracelet.
Mexico, probably 1950s, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I would say mid-century.
All sterling silver, link bracelet with beautiful swirls and grooves in it, all made in chasing and repoussé, double-sided. Soldered links, and it's mine.
And you say it was a great bargain. How good a bargain? What would you say that's worth, and what were you able to actually snag it for?
Well, I looked it up online on Ruby Lane actually, and the prices for a bracelet that with that quality, find the Mexican silver, and often ranged anywhere from $200 to $600. That's the most expensive stuff. And Katie, you paid there, 60? And that's not necessarily
55.
true.
No,
$55. Okay,
I knew I was prepared to take the time. Because it takes a lot of time to look through things. You don't want to rush. You want to pay attention. Look for hallmarks, stamps by the maker, stamps that say, whether or not it's sterling silver or gold. And be sure that you're not getting plated pieces.
Well, when you find those pieces, though it might take time to find the perfect ones, one of the tips that you gave us last week, was you do want to jump on it once you find it because someone else will come along.
Oh, yeah. Don't hesitate. Well, I said to Katie when she pulled that out, I'm like, if you're not buying it, I am.
A little competition there. Friendly competition,
oh, yeah.
That is.
It was all very friendly.
I know. In fact, I think I might have to borrow that one for my 30th high school reunion that's coming up. The best bargains. Because my theme, I think people will think having a lot of Mexican food at my high school reunion over the Corinthian Yacht Club, July 30th. And I already have my Mexican earrings on
to look through.
Oh, I see. Yes,
that one says they're like triangle 3D shaped, and one says C, and the other one says no.
So depending on which way you turn your head, you can send. Well, when you find those pieces,
yes or no. So I think I'm going to do the Mexican thing, and maybe Katie will let me borrow the bracelet for the evening.
That sounds like a perfect. You do want to jump on it once you find it because someone else will come along.
Oh yeah, don't hesitate. Well, I said to Katie when she pulled that out, I'm like, if you're not buying it, I am.
The most popular thing when it comes to these competition markets.
Oh yeah,
jewelry. What's the most
popular
popular
thing?
It was
all very friendly.
Well, I know. It depends upon the market. I mean, this one actually I think I might have to borrow that one for my 30th. They have a lot of small reunion that's coming up. Because my theme, I think we're having a lot of Mexican food at my high school reunion over the Corinthian Yacht Club,
items
July 30th,
one of the top
and
three always.
I already have my Mexican earrings on.
They're
I see. Yes,
that one says
easier to transport to these shows.
Triangle, 3D shaped,
because they don't
and
take
one
up as
says
much room,
C,
so people
and the other one says no.
more jewelry than of a larger object.
So depending on which way you turn your head.
For myself.
Yeah, yes or no.
Yeah, definitely.
So, I think we're going to do the Mexican thing, and maybe Katie will let me borrow the bracelet for the evening.
This sounds like maybe something that people could look out for in the upcoming shows.
No worries.
With all of those bargains in the jewelry department, would you say that maybe is the most popular thing when it comes to these
an air pistol gun for my son?
What's the most popular thing?
Well, it depends upon the market. I mean, this one actually was quite heavy in jewelry.
Right.
They had a lot of small collectibles, more toys has Nerf guns, and we're constantly saying to Chauncey, "Don't shoot in the house,"
toys are always popular,
which I'm sure a lot of parents out there can relate to.
Definitely one of the top three.
Right on the top of the box it says "Home Shooting Set."
Yeah, easier to transport to these shows.
Yeah, shoot in the kitchen, shoot in the laundry room, and I'm like,
justify.
I know, and I'm like, what?
For myself.
So that totally, drew my eye
and I'm
over.
Sure you pick up surprises
was
too.
pretty much mint in the box. The only thing that was missing were the original pellets to put in the gun, which you can get pretty easily nowadays. But I almost bought
the new
air guns. Of course, have the CO2 cartridge
gun for my son,
but the old style ones. This was a Crossman gun, which are still sold today. They're in Walmart. If you go looking for air guns, there they are, the same brand. Son has Nerf guns. One of the very early ones saying from the Chauncey, 50s. Don't shoot in the house, back then which I'm sure a lot of parents out there so you had to hand pump relate to. You had to hand pump the gun to build up that pressure to shoot out the pellet. Right on the top of the box, it says "Home Shooting
my
Set."
son who loves cap guns and all that kind of stuff, I thought,
shoot in the laundry room, and I'm like,
old school one.
I know, and I'm like, what?
So I was kind of haggling with the guy about the price.
Drew my eye over
because it was, I think it was originally
pretty much mint in the box. The only thing that was missing were the original pellets to put in the gun.
He had told me originally he had it priced at pretty easily nowadays. But I was like, that's way out of my budget.
The new air guns, of course, have the CO2 cartridge.
Side of it too. You have to exercise
the old style
ones,
and this was a Crossman gun, which are still sold today. They're in Walmart. If you go looking for air guns, there they are, the same brand.
Some of the great shows that are coming up.
This was one of the very early ones from the 50s.
Negotiating skills to
back then they didn't have the air cartridge, so you had to hand pump it. At the beginning of Antique Trails, I sent you a list to shoot out the shows this summer. And so, knowing my son, who that list has cap guns and all that kind of stuff,
it has grown.
Maybe he might like new things are popping up all the time.
He likes the history.
You go to one show, and I was kind of haggling about another show that's coming up that you didn't find on the internet, because it was, I think it was originally a few shows coming up,
10 or 120, something like that.
I think it was 120.
Deep River Congregational Church.
He had told me originally had a price at
150. That's coming up August 20th.
I was like, that's way out of my budget.
Very well attended. That's a hot show to check out.
That's the flip
because
side
you've
of
got
it
the
too.
whole
You have to exercise
the whole Deep River Church green there where the horseshoe pits are.
At an auction, you can't just let your arm automatically fly up.
And then inside the church has its own rummage sale, which are all pieces that have been donated by church members.
Katie and I were just talking about that. How,
and then they have
an at the beginning of Antique Trails, I sent you a list
all the nicest
of all the shows this summer.
Which I'm actually the one that goes through all that stuff. That list has morphed,
so I'm kind of
excited
to see what shows up this year.
New things are popping up all the time.
To go through these boxes,
you go to one show and the vendors tell you about another show that's coming up that you didn't find on the internet. I'm hoping to have them on the show next week. We have a few shows coming up
to give a preview, because
they'll be able to
Deep River
maybe talk about
some of the things that have been coming in
and rummage sale,
and give people a sneak
that's coming up August 20th.
Little appetizer, always very well attended.
And maybe give us an idea of some of the vendors that are going to be there this year. Because they have some of the same vendors, but they also have every year there are green there where the horseshoe pits are,
especially to the
the outdoor
flea market.
And then inside the church has its own
Katie's going to be there.
I'm going to have my
which
Hammered
are
Edge
all
studio
pieces
booth
that have been donated by church
we've
members and people
resolved
from
to
the
start
community.
doing some of these
And then
shows
they have
together.
an
I'm coming out of my
boutique
shell
room that has all the
We're
nicest
going to
stuff
do
in
major
it,
tag teaming,
which I'm actually the one that goes through all that stuff.
And preview shows together.
Cool.
So
Yeah.
I'm after that,
excited to
the next
see
one
what
that's
shows
coming
up
up
this
that
year.
hasn't been
It's
on our
always like
list before
Christmas
is on
for me to
September
go through those
4th
boxes and
at the
see
Chester
what shows up.
Fairgrounds. And I love
so
the name of this one.
Yeah, that's a great show.
Repurpose Happiness.
I'm hoping to have them on the show next week.
That's clever.
To give
So
a
again,
preview
it's the
because they'll be able
repurposing,
to maybe talk about some of the things that have been coming
really
in
cool show.
and give people a sneak
finished
peek.
items as well as a lot of appetizers.
And maybe give us an idea of some of the vendors that are going to be there this year, because they have some of the same vendors, but they also have every year there are new people that come in. I think a lot of people
especially
are
to
familiar with
the outdoor
Trove
flea
and
market,
Chalk Mercantile and Old
being on
Saybrook.
the
So
inside,
they're
I will be
the
there too.
sponsors of it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, Katie's going to be there.
I'm going to have my Hammered Edge studio
And the
booth
next
there.
one,
You're
September
in
fact,
11th,
we've resolved to
which,
start doing some of these shows
is
together. I'm coming out of my
a-
shell.
Unfortunately, a date that will go
do
down in
major tag
infamy in this
teaming and
country,
work
but
at different events together and
a good
preview
idea
shows
that the
together.
Deep River
Cool.
Fire
Yeah,
Department
So after
is
that,
doing a show
the
on
next
September
one that's coming up
11th.
that hasn't been on our list before
It's
is on
the,
September 4th.
It's a vintage
at the
car
Chester
show
Fairgrounds.
and flea market.
And I love the name of this
So,
one. Repurposed
Vintage
Cars,
Happiness Show.
And then you've got the flea market, which
so
undoubtedly
again,
will
it's the
have
upcycling,
vintage items.
Katie and I
Repurposing
are
going to have booths there,
and that
should be a really cool show.
And
We're
I'm trying to encourage some of my other friends who sell a lot of materials
to come and be a part of the event.
Yeah, we're jumping in on that one, and that one's going to be at Devitt's Field in Deep River.
That's being put on by
and
the
the
Trove
date on that
and
one
Chalk
again?
Mercantile.
That's
the one
September
super late,
11th.
September 11th. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
I think
And
a
then,
lot of people
not
are familiar
only
with
are there some
Trove
cool things
and
going
Chalk
on in the
Mercantile and Old
immediate
Saybrook,
area
so
here, but I
they're the
gather there's
sponsors
some
of it,
cool
right?
things going on in Newport.
That's fine.
And
And the
Middletown,
next
excuse me,
one,
having to do
September
with-
11th. Yeah, well, Middletown and
which,
Newport are kind of synonymous.
synonymous.
Middletown
Unfortunately,
is
a date that
is
will
right
go down in
outside of
infamy in this
Newport.
country.
Newport, a good idea
Old
that the
Newport
Deep River Fire Department is doing
where
a
all the
show on
mansions are and
September
everything.
11th. Middletown is just sort of on the outskirts of Newport.
It's a
And
vintage
this
car
is
show and flea
probably
market.
one of the most premier shows in the country.
Vintage cars,
extremely
and then
chic.
you've got the flea market,
which
the
press
undoubtedly will have
describes it
vintage
as
items.
glamorous,
Katie and I are
luxurious,
going
and
to have
elegant
booths there.
as well. We're talking
And I'm trying to
the
encourage some of my
major
other friends who sell
expensive
vintage
antiques
to come
and
and be a
vintage
part of the
items.
Yeah, we're jumping in on
They
that
have a
one, and that
preview
one's going to
night,
be at Devitt's Field
this
in Deep River.
Thursday night,
Ah,
tomorrow
and the
night.
date on that one again?
That's
the one
September
that's
11th.
are
September 11th.
$175.
And then,
for the
not
preview,
only
just
are there
for the
some cool
preview,
things going on
all
in
the way up to
immediate area
$500
here,
if you
but I
want to
gather
be,
there's some cool things going
a
on in
sponsor
Newport.
or something of the
Yeah,
event.
and
And then the
excuse
show
me, having to do
itself
with-
is from
well,
Middletown and Newport
is this
are kind
weekend
of
starting
synonymous.
Friday,
synonymous.
the 22nd
Middletown
through the 24th
is
island,
right
which I
outside
believe
of
is a
Newport.
private school.
Newport, Old Newport is,
but
it
where all
is
the mansions are and everything.
touted
Middletown
as
is one of
just
the
sort of on the
nation's
outskirts of
premier
and
antique venues.
this is like
really, if you
probably
wanted to
one
go
of
and you
the
didn't think
most
you'd be able to buy
premier
things
shows in
of
the
that
country.
scope,
Extremely
you could treat it as an
chic.
education.
Yeah,
Because every
the
time you
press
go to a show,
describes
you
it
learn
as
something.
glamorous,
Yeah,
luxurious,
exactly.
and elegant.
I think
we're
if
talking
you go for just one day,
the major,
I want to say the admission
expensive
fee is
antiques and vintage
30
items,
$30 or $50.
They have a
I mean,
preview night,
it's not a low ticket
this
item.
Thursday night, tomorrow
But
night.
yeah, if you want to spend the money and
tickets
see
are
some of the absolute
$175
For the preview.
just for the
you know,
preview.
it'll
all the way
be,
up to
a major
$500 if
education.
you want to be,
Sounds wonderful.
a sponsor or something of the event.
A very
And then the
unique
show
opportunity.
itself is from is this weekend starting Friday, the 22nd
you can make
through
it
the
a day
24th
by
island,
going through
which I believe
Newport
is
as
a
well,
private
and not
school.
just to the show.
And friends, consider going with friends. I know, for example,
But it-
will the two
it
of you,
is
if you travel there, go
touted
together?
as
or
one of the
split
nation's
days, or-
premier
That's not an
antique
event I'll be going
venues.
to.
So
really,
I've
if
got a
you
lot on my
wanted to
plate for this
go and you
weekend.
didn't think you'd be able
yes.
to buy
Well,
things
you're a
of
busy
that
one.
scope,
Yeah,
you could treat it as an
But I
education.
wanted to yeah.
Because every time you go to a show, you learn something.
Yeah, exactly. I think if you go for just one day, I want to say the admission fee is $30 or $50. I mean, it's not a low ticket item, but if you want to spend the money and see some of the absolute, it'll be a major education.
Sounds wonderful.
Yeah, a very unique opportunity. you can make it a day by going through Newport as well, and not just to the show.
And friends, consider going with friends. I know, for example, will the two of you, if you travel there, go together or split days? Or
That's not an event I'll be going to. I've got a lot on my plate for this weekend.
Oh, yes. Well, you're a busy one.
Yeah. But I wanted to